Do you have any insight into why somebody with a heritage not different from what you went through would then think it was a good idea to commit mass murder?
Well, when you're believing in the cause, by what I could see, he's into some of the websites and into some of the chat rooms.
But Frank,
that is the final cause.
Frank,
that's the final evidence of what he wants to do.
Wait, now, Frank, you almost sound as though this kid is a part of a political movement, like an extremist movement of any other stripe. Is that the mindset, or is this kid sick?
No, see, well, racism isn't a mental illness. Racism is learned, and mental illness can't be learned, and you have it. So I wouldn't consider that. But there are people in the movement who are definitely mentally ill.
So how did you get out of this, and how do you perceive what this affliction is that is a reflection of something within our society?
You know, what got me out of it was men of other races having empathy for me, giving me a job, just befriending me in ways. And so that was one of the things that started my change, was I started to have empathy for other human beings again.
Well, lack of empathy is a sickness, in my opinion, but that's something different. Go ahead, Leanne.
Frank, can I ask you a question? Was your end game in all of that, when you were a skinhead, to do violence upon other people that weren't white or that weren't like you?
No, that is the final solution to everything. Is that there will be a race war, and we will separate from one another. And
wow. I mean, when you hear people say it so matter-of-factly, it makes it
chilling.
Well, and Dylan Roof has been so open about the fact that that was his ideal goal, not only to kill people, to start a race war. And I just find it so fascinating and at the same time heartwarming that patently the opposite has happened.
Right.
I don't know if I've seen more outward showing of love and compassion by all races and genders than what's going on right now in Charleston, South Carolina.
You're right, but there's two things this gentleman just said that sort of strike my ear. One is lack of empathy, and to bring my brain out again, that's one of the last things humans develop in this frontal midline area of the prefrontal cortex. They get the capacity to appreciate that other people have thoughts, feelings, actions, agency like the rest of us, and it requires closeness to other people in order for us to develop that. That starts in our families. People need to be educated so they don't learn about racism or they can't imagine that it's a good idea. And he also said another thing. He said unemployed. So jobs, that's another thing. So I hear family, education, jobs.
He lacked all of those, Dr. Drew.
Pretty
That's what I
basic.
said earlier.
Pretty basic.